Hi, service you again, giving you bits of random learning bites. For this video, I will be introducing an upgraded version of my presentations. I have a new setup for my class sessions. I have here my primary monitor and a secondary monitor, and of course a bigger version at my virtual back, a duplicate of my secondary monitor. The purpose of this is when I solve problems for my lessons, I can write real time and I can show to my students real time. For example, I am going to write an equation while I am looking at my secondary monitor. You will also see my writings on my virtual background screen. Say I will write famous equation. Force is equal to mass times acceleration. And you are seeing that real time. So how did I do it? Now I will give you a tour on my setup. I will be giving screenshots from time to time so you could see my screen, both the screen on my primary monitor and my secondary monitor. So for this particular setup, let me take a screenshot for this. So this is now my screen. This part is my secondary screen and the other one is my primary screen. On my primary screen, I have the following scenes for my OBS. I have here the host, classroom, the whiteboard, the face cam, and the overhead cam. For the host, this is the host. Inside the host, I have a background image and the face cam. And this is my classroom. This is for my classroom. I have a background image, this one. I have the whiteboard, of which I will be explaining later what's inside the whiteboard. I have the face cam. I have the following images. This is my image 3 and this is my image 4. These are still images and I set it on a transparency to around 90%. The purpose of which is so that you could see my hands while I am doing some gestures. As you can see, you can partially see through the monitors. That way, you can interact with my hand gestures. So that's for my classroom. And for the whiteboard, I have here the whiteboard. Under the whiteboard, I have the overhead cam and the display capture. And for the face cam, of course, that's only me. And I have also the overhead cam, that's the camera at the top that is capturing my hands. Now, integrating all this in the classroom scene, as you notice, the face cam is a scene source. The face cam is a scene source. And so with the whiteboard, that is a scene source. I do that because if ever I will be changing the settings on my whiteboard, I will not be changing my classroom settings. To illustrate my setup, I have here my laptop. I have here my secondary monitor. I have here my audio interface. And I have here my drawing tab. And I have here my mouse. And I have my overhead cam. Then here I have my front cam. Then my light sources. A ring light. I have here a rectangular light. I also have here a rectangular light. So that's basically it. That's my setup. Then at the back, of course, I have here a big green screen. So that's my setup. Now, how did I do this one? How did I make it possible to do this? Going back to the classroom setup, at the back portion is my background image. This one. Actually, this TV screen is just part of my background image. Then I have my whiteboard. This one. This is the screen or display capture settings as a source on the whiteboard. Here, under the whiteboard. Under the whiteboard, that is a display capture. Then on top of that, I have my face cam. This one. This one. I inserted this face cam scene as part of the source. Then on top of that, I have my transparent monitors. Then a simple adjustments of the layers of these sources to make it appear like this one. So with that, I overlaid my hand on the whiteboard. On the whiteboard as a scene, the sources are the overhead cam and the display capture. This display capture is my second monitor. And the overhead cam, this one, I inserted it as a source, a scene source, on top of my display capture. That is why you can see my hands. I added a filter of opacity up to around 90% to make it somehow my hands are semi-transparent. So on the whiteboard, you can see my hands as a semi-transparent. Again, since my secondary monitor is set below the overhead cam layer, it is now making it possible for my hands to be somehow 90% opacity. So from that, you can now do everything. You write, whatever you do on your secondary monitor, it can be captured in your presentation. So, you might ask, what are you using? I am using this tab. It comes with a pen. This pen do not require a battery to function. In keying, I hope you can still remember how to chroma key. On the color keying, I use a filter as custom filter, and to make adjustments under the color selector. To get rid of this black this black half gloves, which removes my portions of my fingers if I am going to use this one. So what I did was covered the writing surface of my drawing tab with a thin layer of bond paper, just enough to allow the pen to still work while I do this one. So that's basically it. And on my writing pad, though you can use any possible software, free ones, I am using the Microsoft Whiteboard. Microsoft Whiteboard. What I can do with this one is that I have the following options. I can change the settings of my pen, the colors of my pen, and using my mouse, I can zoom in and I can zoom out. And once I am done with a particular lesson, for example, this one, I can actually export this one. I can export it into a picture or high quality image file. And you can move your canvas. The whole thing is called canvas. You can move your canvas. You can move portions of your equations. If you want to transfer these values, you can move it actually. So the whole thing, you can move everything. And while you are doing your lesson, if you want to emphasize some portions of it, you can zoom in, zoom out by just rolling your mouse forward or backward. So that's basically it. That's how you are going to use these features. Again, this has been Service You at your service, giving you bits of random learning bites. Please do not forget to subscribe and write down your comments below if you want something for me to cover on my next videos, or if you have something to improve on this presentation. Thank you.